Today's coverage of the Hindenburg disaster is sponsored by Manscaped. Shave your balls, avoid burning in a fiery catastrophe. You heard that right, only a freshly manicured scrotum can prevent moments like these. Try Manscaped today.
Welcome to Demasked. My name is Fresman. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. I have the self-described panda daddy himself, Ailurus.
Yep. Hello, everyone.
How's it going today?
Everything is fantastic, my man. I've been just enjoying the weekend. It's just been a wonderful Sunday.
Let's say keeping busy, but not too busy, I hope.
Not too busy, no, not at all.
Now, I've been a watcher of your videos for a long time. I've been a fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When'd you start seeing me?
Oh, geez. I want to say, it was right when we started covering, like, God, how far back? It was like...
yeah, it's been a minute.
3-4 years ago? It was like...
Yeah, easily.
It was when, I want to say you just started doing specific subreddits, but you started doing, like... The word I'm looking for isn't meme review, but it was, like, themed...
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think. Themed meme review. That's weird. I can't put my finger on it. I would have to say that I've been doing the Reddit stuff since 2018, and that's just been the main focus. I can't think of any specific I can't think of any time where I've tried to talk about memes specifically, but I'm sure they've definitely come up in all of the various topics I've covered at this point, like almost 10 years. Good Lord.
I want to say it was at the beginning of the, like, Quit Your Bullshit series.
Ooh, all right. Okay, yeah, that's a deep cut.
It's been a minute, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, the subreddit's actually so dead. When those videos came out, it was relatively popular to cover the posts there, and now it's a ghost town, man. A lot of the subreddits that I used to cover back in 2018, all the way up to 2020, a lot of them are gone.
Well, like, Quit Your Bullshit, I still personally follow, and it's few and far between, and even then, it's not as much fun as it used to be.
No. It seemed like the engagement on the entire subreddit just died after 2019.
Yeah.
Something about it having, like, almost... I want to look up it now. I think it's, like, 2 million followers of the subreddit at this point, and hardly any viral posts are on there, and that's... The same thing goes for r/fatlogic. Oops, didn't mean to. That's dead. Nice girls and nice guys, nothing. But r/trashy always provides. Same thing with Noah Get the Boat and I'm a Total Piece of Shit. There's always something negative happening. Easy to talk about.
See, a lot of those subreddits I am currently sub to because of your videos, like Quit Your Bullshit and I Am a Total Piece of Shit.
Yep. Man, that was a cool thing to come across. I saw no one covering that subreddit, so I thought, why not? I want to say the first episode came out in 2020, January 2020. And man, that was before the pandemic slapped the entire world, and there was a whole lot of just the conversation around that time was so funny, especially for the 5th video of that for the first season of that series. It was so funny. Like, no one really thought about it. Everybody was talking about COVID and thinking that it was just going to be another bird flu or another variant of that. And they were going on trips and stuff. I remember everybody getting 2 weeks of spring break if you were in school at that time.
Yep.
And I used one of those videos of people just talking about, oh, we're going to party. It's not going to be anything. Oh, my God. For one of the I'm a Total Piece of Shit episodes. I want to say it was episode 5. And that ended up being my most popular video ever. Like that, nothing's gotten past that. I want to say, let's take a look. It's definitely double-digit millions at this point. Never thought that would actually take off, and that it fundamentally changed my channel because I ended up covering just negative stuff for the better part of 4 years after that. It seemed like that's what everyone wanted, just somebody to bark.
Well, it was such a weird time, and like in certain circles, it is still that weird time, but not as much.
Yeah. But it seems like that's what people want to listen to. They want to hear about the worst of the world and have someone tell jokes while they're, reminded that people are doing awful things. And serious, that definitely goes for the Morbid Reality series because, my God, the way that everyone has almost like every single one of my newer fans now is just like, just do morbid reality, just cover that. I'm like, I would lose my mind. I would go crazy. I take month breaks in between uploads because it's just gnarly every single time.
Well, the thing is, I had a point that I had brought up with a Misery Machine, who I talked to a little over a year ago, and they have this fantastic subsection of videos I would like to watch, but the the title makes me just want to do anything else.
Yeah, that is the truth. When you do come across those really like terrible true crime stories on YouTube, because that's pretty popular, and anytime someone sees like r/morbid reality, it's the same comments. It's just you're gonna be you're in for a terrible tale. But for whatever reason, people enjoy, I don't know, sleeping to that. Like, the amount of comments, man, I can't tell you, where people are like, I put you on, dude. I know that you're about to talk about some calamity, some sort of grotesque act, and that helps me pass out. Or people tell me all the time that they put me on in the car while they're doing road trips. I'm like, that's something that you want to hear? While you're on the road? That's 45 minutes of genocide and war and terrible acts. All right, if that's what you want, I'll do it. But you're gonna have to wait for it, because I need to build my brain up in between uploads.
Dude, I used to have that problem with audiobooks when I worked retail.
Oh,
well, like, have you ever read "I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream"?
I've heard of that book. Never read it.
So there, at the end is like, I won't spoil it, but there's just this horrifying descriptor that occurs at the end. Mm-hmm. And I was watching The Door, working overnights at Walmart back when the store I was at was 24 hours. Mm-hmm. And so it's like 3 a.m. I'm half awake, and I'm checking this sweet little old lady's receipt. She's like, "Did I get everything, Sonny?" And all I can hear in my ear is, "I am a great soft jelly thing." I'm just like, oh.
Whatever gets you through the day, man. It's something. I don't know what the psychology is. If I could speak to someone, if I could ask a question, why do humans like to hear a gnarly tale while doing a mundane thing, whether it be trying to go to bed or trying to get through the workday or driving? Something about just hearing that, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. The things that people say about like horror movies and stuff like that, like people enjoy watching that because it's not actual danger. And it feels like you may or may not have like fought the thing. Like, oh, if I watch a monster movie, I'm stronger than monsters. I can handle that. I can handle 2 hours of somebody getting eaten. Maybe that's the same thing with people who just dive, I don't know, hip deep into fucking true crime. It's ridiculous. I don't understand how people can have podcasts about that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the entertainment, but I don't get the culture around it. That's why I try to make the morbid reality videos pretty serious. I don't want it to make it seem like this is fun and games, because like these are real people. Yeah. This is things that happen. This is not just, we're telling scary stories around a fire. This happened. You can read the Wikipedia page. But people enjoy it. I'm here to entertain. So I have to, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess meet the demand.
Got to dance for the crowd.
Yep, that's how it is. That's the job of the jester. I have to make entertainment. I got to make people happy. And if hearing about war gets you there, I guess I'll do it until I move on to the next thing. But it's something. I feel for the other fans who enjoy the funny stuff, and they would rather me cover all the comedic soft content on Reddit. But like, their voices are louder. And the views speak. That's the thing. Like, I wish I could just make the videos that everybody wants, but I still have to eat, so I have to make a decision.
Well, like, how do I word it? I get, like, true crime I feel is a viable form of content creation, but specifically when talking about ones in the past, not ones that are currently occurring.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be easier. It seems like talking about it that way gives a little bit of a degree of separation. If it happened 40 years ago, it's not super spooky.
Yeah.
But funny enough, that's why I really enjoy making those videos, man, because it seems like everybody wants to talk about what's happening currently. I felt like maybe there should be some focus on the things that hardly anyone really speak about. Funny enough, when I was talking to my girlfriend 2 or 3 days ago, we were very curious about this region of the state that I'm in that just is completely devoid of people. It's a large county, insanely big, and apparently, like as we were going on the Wikipedia page for the county, I come across just apparently there was a mass hanging, a mass lynching that just happened there.
Oh.
And I'm like, this is something that you wouldn't know unless you just crawled across Wikipedia. I'm sure there's books that you could absolutely read, but no one would talk about a topic like that. And I actually included that topic in the future Morbid Reality video that should be coming out this week. And it's just, that's what I like about that series. Even if it is like a big bite out of the brain, I enjoy sharing those stories. I feel like if they're not talked about online, the only way that you would come across it is by happenstance, or if you're just, trying to write some sort of PhD about history and you need to do some deep research like that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's always some kind of appeal to look back and try to solve a mystery.
Yeah. It's nice. Also, it's really easy to read what other people did to solve said mystery, to talk about a whole murder or some sort of war event, and just from start to finish, put it all out there. It's really nice, and it's easy that way. I don't have to really do a lot of my own primary research. I can just lean on smarter people before me who decided to talk about the topic. But sometimes I end up in videos where there's a few more reality videos where I just ramble. I feel like I include too much information, and people, they're like, "Oh, just get to the gnarly bit," and I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to educate you for a second. Here's a extra fact that you can tell people." The same reason why everybody watches documentaries. It's better than reading books. You can act like you read books if you watch documentaries.
Yeah, sure, he worked at Fred Meyer's, but when did he die and how?
Yeah. It's just, if I gave it to you all, like, what some people, of course, it's not every single fan, but it's just the loud, mean minority that are like, just get to it. It's like, if that's what you wanted, then you could have researched the topic and skipped all the way down to the gnarly bit of Wikipedia and read that if you want, or I can give you an additional fact and you can sit here and fall asleep. How would you? What's easier?
Well,
I'd take the sleep.
Well, if you cut to the quick, like the video would be like 30 seconds.
It would be. It would be.
Man stabbed to death. This is who did it. Later.
Later. Oh, there you go. On to the next thing. I'm sure that type of content is popular too. There's a ton of that on TikTok. Like 1 minute true crime, 1 minute history, and if I could get into that, I would absolutely do that. But it seems like you would, gloss over a lot of important details, and that's what I like. I like the details. I like to tell somebody a story about. Matter of fact, a good example of that would be. Oh, excuse me. Morbid Reality episode. Let's see if I can track it down here. I know exactly which one. There it is. Yeah, it would be episode 25, where the first bit was completely about the Vietnam War, specifically about the draft. And a lot of people wanted me to just talk about the actual combat portion, but I found what was really interesting was the whole component of the lottery system when it came to picking who could be sent to Vietnam, and just how janky that was, and how so many people were sent there to just die for really no reason. Mm-hmm. And the methodology that they used to pick these people was pretty convoluted. It was pretty, everybody who was broke. if you weren't in school, if you were broke, you're going to Vietnam to fight in a war that you have nothing to deal with, and probably at that time had some sort of issue or opinion it was a thing. And that was one of those times that story was something I really wanted to put out. And I felt that even if it wasn't super gnarly, if it wasn't like obviously morbid, I still felt it was important to tell people it. And a lot of people enjoyed a fact, a lesson, even if it wasn't super spooky.
Yeah. Well, especially for the draft, like the stories you hear, not only for the people who went, who were drafted, mm-hmm. but the people who ran. Yeah, it's something. The entire Vietnam War, man. Researching just the portion about the draft was pretty dense. There's so much happened, so many things that could be told, but a lot of it I can't talk about on YouTube easily because it would just be the images that I would have to show would absolutely nuke the channel. So stories that are tangential to stuff like that I usually include with Morbid Reality, but there's other things that I kind of put into the back burner
to see if I could figure out how to speak about. Like, there's a few major events that happened during China's long history of existing that I've wanted to talk about, but it's just like every image, every description is either demonetized or community guideline strike, and that's very frustrating.
Now, a thought occurred to me, and it's a horrifying thought, but do you, to defeat like the demonetization algorithm, do you use unalive?
No, not at all. If I'm in a circumstance where I have to talk about suicide or if I have to talk about murder, I will just say those words and just take the hit. Usually, it doesn't pan out like negatively. Yeah, I sometimes can get away with it, especially now with YouTube kind of changing their advertiser-friendly policies about topics like that. It depends on how you say it, how many times you say the word. So I try to use different vocabulary that is not just, terminally online, like unalive and grape. Usually just say assault or forced upon, stuff like if I have to use a different word, I will. If I can't avoid that, I'll just use it. And sometimes I am rewarded with a video that is 45 minutes long and chock full of ads and I will absolutely eat off of. And sometimes it just doesn't go my way. For like Morbid Reality 26, that was age restricted because I talked about the high suicide rates in South Korea and the horrifying reality of that. And yeah, I guess I went over my quota. I said it like 10 times in the end of the video.
Hey, today we're...
It's...
Well, that, like, the measure which certain sponsors will keep their sponsorships on a dark topic is fascinating to me, because some of them be like, and here is one of the most devastating events in American history, sponsored by Manscaped.
Yeah. Depending upon how, how viral your content is, most sponsors, I wouldn't say advertisers, but sponsors especially, easily will look over that because they're more or less concerned with just getting their product out, whether it be an app, a program, like a physical, thing to buy. They only care about viewership and viewer retention. So like, how long is somebody watching a piece of content, and how many of them are watching it? It doesn't matter really what the topic is, because I see, I'm sure you've seen Aura and Morgan and like Manscaped especially. Like I would see them appear in predator catching videos. Like dang, like that's those videos are. Simply have a hard time existing on the platform, let alone being monetized. And it's so funny, just like, oh, we're gonna catch this sicko, but also wait before we get him. Is your information online? Do you need to get it offline?
Sir,
did the Chinese leak your stuff?
Sir, are you in this Chuck E. Cheese and meet a 12-year-old girl? Also, as they turn to the camera, shave your balls.
Shave your balls. Yes. Do you need an injury lawyer? We got you. Don't worry about it. It is odd. It is strange, but I get it. The environment online is pretty gnarly when it comes to trying to get advertisers to give you a dime for a view. If you're not, Mr. Beast and doing something that is super family friendly, super, geared towards children, which is ironic because even if you had content geared towards children, your advertising dollars would go down. But it's interesting. I see a lot of other content creators complain about it. I've kind of just stopped. I figured out how to do the content I want and have it be supported. If I know that a video is going to be age restricted or demonetized, I have a ballast. I just make sure to throw out other content to cover it, because at the end of the day, it's about giving my fans what they want. If they want a Morbid Reality video, I can't not make it gnarly. That's ridiculous. I mean, I expect every time I go to McDonald's, I expect the fries to taste the same. So the point is to not diminish the quality of the video. It's just to make it and then make it work.
Fair. I'm staring at one of the thumbnails here. It's r/cringe-topia.
I can think of a few. I think a dog mask appeared in that series twice for a thumbnail. I have. Oh Lord, man! It depends on which. I can think it's either episode 7 or episode 8. There's a dog mask, and I want to say, for one of the double-digit episodes I did again for it was a guy. I just know he said it on his Twitter account, which was fucking wild. He takes a picture of himself in a officer's uniform with a fetish mask on. And I'm just like, look, bro, do your thing. But I don't know if a lot of people who wear that that outfit would vibe with that. It seems a little disrespectful. Seems a little crazy.
Well, like, on the flip side of that, wouldn't that be the scariest fucking thing to see coming over the hill?
It would be terrifying. Oh my god, yeah. Like I forgot who said the joke. I forgot who made the joke. I don't know if it was
Shane Gillis, maybe.
Yes, it was. It was Shane Gillis. Yeah, it was on his Netflix special. That he made a great point that yes, a lot of our military personnel are very specialized military personnel are down low freaks. They are freaks on the DL on the timeline. Yeah, that is terrifying, and yes, they are piloting drones. Like, if I was any enemy of the United States, I would consider that. I would at least give that a little bit of thought before, doing anything that would be remotely threatening, because that is spooky. But yeah, Cringetopia 6 was the first one with a dog mask being featured, and I believe it was Cringetopia 18 with the officer. Officer Bow Wow.
Or it was Christopher Titus that made a point, I want to say about 20 or so years ago, where it's like, look, we've made some of the most devastating things ever designed by human beings because we were bored.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, of course.
And he goes, piss us off, see what we build next.
I would love to hear the story about who invented the flamethrower, man. A comedian named, I want to say George Carlin.
Yep.
He made a very good point about that. It's like, yeah, someone was experimenting, somebody with tools. And yeah, I would love to hear that story. There's so many cool things that very mundane companies have made for the, the Department of Defense for the U.S. Like, it's wild that, I want to say, General Electric makes planes or just like missiles.
No,
and I'm like,
they make machine guns for planes.
I'm like, that's what you guys do in between like orders for refrigerators and light bulbs. Y'all do that? That's what keeps the lights on.
I want some engineer in their office just like, well, it spins, just like the rotary on the machine gun.
It's crazy. I have a friend he has a master's in mechanical engineering, and I always would poke fun at him, like, hey, dude, if you weren't going to work in petroleum in that industry, would you work with like a Lockheed Martin, a Raytheon, GE? He's like, absolutely, dude. They pay. They will give you a wonderful internship with money. If you have the right skills, you can absolutely build a gun, and they will pay you handsomely for it. I'm like, you know what? If I had an ounce of your intellect, I would do that too. Why not? Like, why not? And I have another friend. I've known him for almost a decade now. He works with Lockheed Martin. No, I'm sorry, not Lockheed Martin. Northrop Grumman as he procures materials for them, so nuts, bolts, everything. He works in supply chain stuff. Real high level. I'm buying stuff on Amazon work. And my friend Mike, he makes this wonderful joke. He's a comedian on the weekends. He does stuff on the East Coast. He turned to my friend deadass and was like, yo, I don't know what type of genjutsu you're under, bro. I kept asking you today, like, exactly where these guns and bullets are going to. Like, why do you not care? He's like, the check clears. It's like, what? It's like, look, I don't know I know where the nuts and bolts go. I don't know what they do with them. I don't know what they do when they build them. And I didn't sell the gun. I'm like, okay, yeah, bro. That was just a very funny moment that I shared with him earlier this year, when because it takes a lot for us all to meet up because we're all across the nation. But yeah, he's gotten very funny after doing a lot of stand up. Yeah, I need him to do more of that. I keep trying to encourage him to stick with that.
That's like if a Home Depot employee were to go, look, I'm selling you this hammer. It's up to you to either build a house or beat somebody with it.
It's just it's a tool. It's a tool. I don't know. Like, look, guns don't shoot themselves. I'm sure somebody has to pull the trigger. Yeah. That's all. If you had to figure out a justification, everybody's watched Lord of War. Everybody's watched that movie. Everyone knows exactly what type of genjutsu you need in order to sell guns. You can make any argument. Everybody can, especially if it puts food on the table.
What was the film? Was it Thank You for Smoking?
Thank You for I think I've heard of it before.
With Aaron Eckhart. there's a line in that.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
There's
Wow, 2005.
You're right. Shut up. Just shut up. Dude, okay, so Half-Life 2 turned 20 the other day.
What? You're nah.
I'm not.
What?
Look at Steam right now. It's free.
Oh my God, it is. It's been that long. Funny enough, I remember when my dad when I told him about that game, when I got Steam when I was in middle school. I had to be like 11 years old, and I told him, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna play this game Half-Life. I'm gonna play Portal because that just Portal 2 had come out at that time." And my father, he was like, "Half-Life, really? That's crazy. That game's old." I'm like, "When did you play it? What do you mean? When did you see that? That's crazy." And just time flies. I think TF2 should be around 20 years old now.
If I remember, we got 3 more years.
I think so. Yep, 2007. Yeah,
Hold
3 years, and that. Yeah.
Wait. When did Portal 2 come out? Oh no.
Portal 2 had to be 2012.
2011. Okay, it's been.
Oh my God.
It's been 13 years.
Oh, wow, that game was awesome.
I feel so fucking old.
Oh my God, that was a wonder. I remember seeing ads for that on Cartoon Network, and Adult Swim. They would promote the co-op mode of that. I really enjoyed that, playing with my friends. Man, it was dope. Great game.
I remember when. Oh no! I remember when commercials for the Orange Box were coming out.
Oh my God, yeah. What? Oh. You're digging up memories, man. Oh my God.
Oh no.
That's right. That is, oh my, dude, 2004, 2005.
Shut up.
Separate products. Oh my God. Yeah, and it was for the PlayStation.
Shut up.
That's, yeah, PlayStation 2. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I saw a wild tweet, I want to say 2 days ago, where somebody was posting images of different Minecraft maps, that would be prefab that you would encounter on servers and stuff. And one of them was the OG Hunger Games map. And there's if you're not a Minecraft player, if you're real, you would know this. And someone's like, "Yeah, I guess you are a real player, and also I know you're 23." And that ate me up, man. It got me. I was like, "How did you know? How did you know?" I couldn't even give the tweet a retweet. I couldn't do it. I can't acknowledge that. That's not true. You didn't just clock me, because I was relating with the post. I'm like, yeah, that is a Minecraft player. If you know about that map, you were there in the beginning. You were playing when it was really cool and really fun.
I can't see my own hair right now, but I feel it graying as we have this.
Yes, that's the thing, man. That's the whole thing. Time will fly, especially if you're focused. Especially if you're just it's like that. But it's cool. I'm glad that the young people have their own games now. They have something to speak about, and I'm waiting. I can't wait for their comments, man. When I'm 30.
Shut up! I'm closing in on that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Shut up!
It's crazy. It's something about just seeing your friends kind of just get really serious. That kind of shows you where you are in life. Like my friend Rohan, he just got married, and I'm like, dude, no, wait. Oh, I am around that time where people make that decision, and it's just it's so it's nice to know that I am a grown up. I am what I wanted to be for so long. And also it makes you feel like the oldest person on the planet. Like, wow, I wish I was still a kid with no responsibilities and no tax payments. That would be fantastic. Yeah, but it's cool. I like that the young people have fully fleshed out cool games, because man, Portal was buggy, and that in the real the beginning, trying to play that on PC, if you had the wrong requirements. If you're, because I had just a regular Dell laptop for the longest time, and just having games stutter and stroke out while trying to play was so crazy. Everything is so seamless for them. Like my siblings, they talk about how they don't know how to. They ask questions that I would never think anyone of our generation or older would ask. Like, what is www? Stuff like that, or just encountering non-shortened links, not really understanding like file formats.
Yep.
Like it's ridiculous. I was speaking to my siblings about metadata, like on photographs and stuff like that, because I was just having boring conversation, and they were just asking like, oh, what's all this information? I clicked the info button on these pictures, and like what it knows the date and time and location. I'm like, yeah, that's what that is, metadata. You don't know what? Google. Use your thumbs. Google that. You won't even do that. You don't even know how. Like these children don't really have an understanding of what a search engine is really, because it's always been like a resource rather than a tool. Because I was taught to use it like anybody else was, like back in 2006, 2007. It was like a hammer. You use a hammer to bang in a nail. You use Google to find a website, not necessarily find an answer. And it's just fascinating seeing them use a search engine like it's a wizard, a little computer gnome that tells you things. Like, bro, you got to look for it. You click the first link. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's go on page 2.
Or if you're real unlucky, you hit about like page 5, and then it gets real weird.
Oh my God! I think the furthest I've ever gone on Google. I mean, I'm speaking like I'm some sort of expert, but the most that I've ever gone is like page 4. I have no idea what's on page 5. I don't know what type of realm that is. I think that might be, I don't know, like a pocket dimension. Anything past page 5, I have no idea. It's crazy, but I wish that the search engine would be better. I wish it was what it was back in 2019, useful. It's just now it's sponsored links and AI. Wonderful.
What you don't want? Weird, like telling you to eat paint chips.
Yes, yeah, that was funny. That was fun. I loved how Google buttoned that up in like the longest period possible. Like everybody was posting memes about it on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram even. And it's just I'm waiting for Google to fix their the little AI search thing. It took a month. I'm like, you saw the memes. You knew what was wrong. That's crazy. Like, you're trying to tell me that you just let it be broken? How many lives were lost when someone was just searching up how to do CPR and it tells them, hey, just get a jumper cable. Wake them up.
Crush their spines.
It's just, don't support the neck, actually. Just let the neck dangle. It's ridiculous. Somebody has a spinal injury, flip them over. It's ridiculous. That's why I use Brave. Like, Brave is a fantastic browser alternative. I recommend it to anyone. Anyone who's listening, get Brave. It's wonderful.
Is this a sponsored message?
No, it's not. I love it because it's just their VPN is baked into the browser. You have truly private tabs that don't allow in extensions, cookies, tracking links, anything like that. You can customize your DNS to have all of your internet traffic route to something that you trust. It's fantastic. Like I would use like Mozilla Firefox if I knew how to really customize that, and I don't have a Linux machine, so it really doesn't make sense. And the only way that Mozilla exists is like, I think, using Google as their primary search engine, which is kind of defeats the point of what I'm trying to do. Brave is fantastic. They have their own search engine. It's just it's not as fleshed out as Google's. So if you try to use any sort of like video or image lookup, you're not going to find anything. But it's a nice alternative. Same thing with DuckDuckGo.
I've been considering for at least the customization options of it. Opera GX.
I've seen their ads. I've seen their sponsors. Funny enough, their Twitter page is kind of funny. I've seen a lot of the customization you got on, I think, the front page. I think you can put any background, animated backgrounds and stuff like that. And funny enough, Google just allowed you to do that kind of with their Chrome browser. You can change the colors. Ooh, so so crazy. It just the thing that put me off with the Opera browser was all the gaming marketing that they were saying. Like, you can do all this stuff with like, why? Who's playing a video game through a browser? Am I testing Minecraft for free? Am I doing that? Is that what we're doing? It's really weird. I do like their background thing. That's kind of cool. That's different. That was fresh.
I will say something that's kind of drawn me a little bit toward the Opera GX. I haven't made the switch over. Is you can set custom sound effects.
Real? Oh, that is different. Okay. Custom sound effects for a browser is an original idea.
I want to make a profile that's just made to torture somebody using my computer.
That would be a fantastic way to encourage someone to not use your personal PC. Just every single annoying noise. That is different. I didn't know that they had that feature.
Oh yeah, just sign in as a guest. You can go ahead and search it up, and then they open a new tab, and it's like that high frequency, like beep.
It's always just a little smoke alarm. Oh my god! Just have it set for every other 30 seconds. Make it seem like you're really going crazy.
Where's it coming from?
Change the battery? Oh my god! I keep taking off my headphones and I hear it. What's going on? That would be funny. But I'm glad that this is the direction that a lot of companies are trying to, they're trying to compete with Google. I appreciate the effort. I'm glad that someone is making the attempt. I'm waiting for a true, Twitch replacement, because all of the news about that is just completely jaundiced me from wanting to really stream on that platform. And Kick is Kick, man. Like, why would I want to be there in any serious capacity?
Are you telling me you're not down to wear a bikini and sit in a hot tub?
Yeah, I mean, I would if I had any of the assets to do that. I'm not gonna dog on these ladies' game. They have a superior scam. They don't get naked. They don't get naked. They are in a hot tub in their wonderful condo, and people donate. They give them subs. They give them, all sorts of cash right out their pockets. I'm not gonna dog their game, because it's really the dudes who are paying, bro. I don't know why you're doing that. I have no idea. But look, if I was a lady with large everything, yeah, I would jump in on the scam. That's an easy scam. Even though eventually the scam will be patched like all scams. Eventually somebody is going to make that job difficult for them. I don't think that Twitch is going to want to have that on their platform forever.
I feel like it could only lead one of two directions. Either somebody does it too well and ruins it for everybody else, or somebody goes too far and then it becomes banned.
I mean, the go too far has already occurred, man. Like I can't remember which streamer it was, but she was banned for 7 days for actually having intercourse on stream. Like, it was happening. She was talking to chat, boyfriend's in the back. It's ridiculous. 7 days. I'm like, I would lose my entire career for remarkably less. But I get it. I understand why they would keep these ladies on there, because that's a lot of money. I wonder how much cash in processing fees that I guess Amazon collects from Twitch from just every single donation. Eventually, I would assume that most likely they're going to keep that on the platform, but probably just, I don't know, either put it behind an age wall, some sort of page that you have to, hey, look, are you born in 2000? Cool. Or make it so that I would just make a clone website. Hey, look, ladies on Twitch, go here. Please don't do this on the video game platform. You have a platform right here. If I was the CEO of Twitch. But I don't know if I'm smarter than him. I'm sure that he's going to do something, because that company absolutely needs to make money at some point.
Wait a second. This isn't Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Disney Plus. No, it's I get it, though. I understand why people have their reservations about that type of content. I get it. I agree. It's a little crazy to have that on a video game streaming platform. But man, if Twitch isn't doing anything to stop it, what am I going to do? Be mad at the ladies for exploiting that opportunity?
Guess I got to buy a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, buy a hot tub. I don't know. And see if you can get an audience, man. It's wild.
Large himbo hangs out in hot tub.
It would be different. I'm sure that you would absolutely carve out a niche, and you would be notable. You would be.
What sucks is the second that sentence left my mouth, I had the thought of like, there's probably an audience for that.
Oh my, yeah, of course. There's an audience for anything. That's the whole deal with the internet. The internet has told the entire planet that there's a niche and fandom for every single thing. If you are a weirdo, you will find your village. You will find your tribe. Man, this is just a wonderful tool. It's a wonderful thing that we've created here. And now we have like flat earthers thinking that they actually have,
a voice.
Numbers. It's like, no, you guys just are talking to each other easily now. It's not carrier pigeon anymore. You guys can tweet and like videos and share. To be honest,
you're not being ridiculed as you should be.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. There's people who genuinely dislike them. I think all that type of stuff is funny. Like, why be upset that someone is that someone believes that the world is flat, man? Like, it's goofy. You should giggle with them. If I ever met somebody who genuinely believed that, I'm sitting down with them and asking questions like, okay, why? Why do you think the earth is a pancake but everything else in the sky is round? What makes us so special? Like, I would love those questions. I would love to pick that brain, because you're a true schizophrenic, and I'm probably never going to have this chance ever again. It's crazy.
Well, my thing is, I want to know, like, specifically for flat earthers, is what occurs when you're found out to be... Sorry. Started choking on an ice cube, sorry. I straight up inhaled an ice cube. Ow.
Oof.
But what happens when they're proven to be wrong? And I don't...
Well, at that... I don't know.
What?
I don't know what they do.
Well, it's not even, like... are you familiar with the case of Harold Camping?
Harold Camping. Yes! Oh, my God. Oh, dude, that was, what, 2017? 2016?
Yeah, and...
No, it was 2018, yes. That was frustrating. Because my parents and my grandparents, they also listened to family. I believe it was family radio. To listen to that, because they are devout Christians. I'm Roman Catholic, and just hearing this man with no, I don't think he has the capacity to tell jokes, but to hear this man seriously say this would be the day. I believe it was a day in March in 2018. The world's gonna crack open. This is it. This is the ending time. And I just was so upset, because it's like, no, you're not supposed. No one's supposed to know. That's why it's a prophecy. Like, you can't do weird Bible math and figure that out. It doesn't work. You won't know.
So I was born in '96, and so I got to see Y2K. And then there was like the 2008 end of the world thing, and then the 2012 end of the
2012. That was fun in middle school. That was dope. I had a lot of fun with that.
Dude, I remember where I was, because I met it with, like, I can't not believe it's gonna happen, but, like, let's just see what occurs.
Yeah, dude, I wish I was an adult during all of those times, man, because I would have had a lot of fun. The type of days that you just wish, you're like, man, I wish I was in college. A day like that was, I think, in 2009, when Barack Obama said that Osama bin Laden got. You know, he's gone. The pictures from the night. Apparently there was parties in D.C., like downtown Washington, D.C., in front of the White House. Man, the way that I would get drunk and just be able to say that I had a party in front of the White House, like, that is so crazy. I've always wanted to talk about that day, and just because that would be a fun... Matter of fact, that would be a great movie. If Martin Scorsese made, like, a movie about that just entire party. Like, I'm sure you've seen the movie Project... Was it Project X?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine a Project X like movie about that night, like written or like produced or directed by Martin Scorsese. With somehow get the people. Somebody do that. Somebody make that movie. I would watch it a million times. Someone needs to talk about that night.
Well, so on the flip side of that, I don't think I've ever shared this fact on the show, and I'm more than happy to be sharing it with you. And this sounds horrible, but I want you to allow me to explain.
Got you.
I didn't know that 9/11 had happened until about 7 years later.
Whew. Where were you, my man?
So when 9/11 happened, I was 5. I was 5 years old.
Got you.
But with that, where I was living at the time, my home state of Oregon, it was that subsection of American citizens that weren't like, never forget the terrorists win. Mm-hmm. It was, we're just not going to talk about it.
I see. Okay.
Like, something happened, but it's over there, and we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And then when I'm in middle school one year, I'm sitting in like computer science or something, and they're like, and my teacher at the time, wonderful man, I still am passingly in contact with him, but he was very much like, I applaud him for this because he was very much like, the kids need to know the truth. Like,
fair enough.
Like, shit happened. We need to show what happened.
Yeah. You can't have anybody being confused and stuff. I get it.
Yeah. And so instead of like imposing his own opinions, he goes, we're just going to sit here and watch footage of the towers falling.
All right. This is exactly what happened.
Yeah. Like, this is just what occurred. I'm not giving, like, here's what I think happened. This is news coverage right here. And so I'm sitting there, and he goes, okay, today we're going to talk about the events of September 11th, 2001. And I turn to the guy next to me, I go, what the fuck happened on September 11th, 2001? And they look at me like I'm insane. And then I look up to see one of the towers falling, and like that unfortunate shot of the guy falling. And,
yeah.
And I just like, no.
Yeah. It's crazy. A lot of those images have been. It's wonder. I wonder who took a lot of those images of the individuals falling out of both towers. But a lot of them have been online. Seemingly they have been made online rather recently. Like that's why I think I included one of those images in the first Morbid Reality video that I made, because I had never seen like a telephoto image of someone holding onto a piece of the North Tower as it's falling to the ground, which is like, what type of desperation is that? Like, do you really... I don't... In any other circumstance, that would sound comedic. That just sounds...
Yeah.
But it's so tragic. Like, someone really like, I'm going to hold on to this wall, because magic will happen. Something will magically happen when I hit the ground.
Yeah, it's...
In the clips... Oh,
it's so bizarrely tragic that it almost wraps back around into being comedic.
And you wonder why so many Americans are are quick to tell jokes before other nations and other nationalities. Man, we'll clown on it. It's something.
And I remember like getting home from school, and my dad's like, "So what did you learn at school today?" I was just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, like didn't know that went down.
What was that?
What was that all about? Man, I guess it was a blessing that I was barely a human. I was barely like conscious. I think I was a month and a day old. My dad always told me the same story, that he just turned on the news when my mom was yelling in the living room at the time, and just I was on his chest, and the unbelievable what flew into these towers? Planes? And their initial thought being, this had to be some sort of like, this had to be an accident. Like, no way. Like, a pilot passed out. A pilot, I don't know, was just fucked up on something crazy. Nah, no way. It didn't occur to him that anybody would do that deliberately. And it's funny what the effects have been because of that. Like, I will never experience walking to a gate without a ticket. It's like, that will never be my life experience ever. Right? Hearing that from my grandparents and my uncle and my parents saying that, oh yeah, you could just meet with family that flew in. What? They didn't just take your belt? They didn't tell you that your soap was too much? They didn't take your toothpaste? That's crazy.
Or like, you watch those like 80s and 90s movies of like girl leaving to go to the plane and the guy dramatically running through the airport. I'm like, no, he's got to go to TSA pre-check. Like, what do you...
I don't think a car could get past the doors, dude. I don't think you could do that.
Yeah, like... You got to check in. You got to park somewhere. You can't just leave it at the gate. Like, that's not how that works.
It's wild. It's crazy how things have changed on the plane, though. Like already the security theater of TSA, everybody's aware of just how taking off my belt is absolutely not thwarting terrorism. But what is knowing that like 3 people on this plane aren't actually passengers. Like, oh shit, we got assassins ready for anybody who wants to get bold and jump up. And then I think recently, I want to say it was on Theo Von's podcast, or was it not? No. Oh, it was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was speaking to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he made a statement that I couldn't believe. Apparently, before 2001, if somebody was like, "Oh, I'm going to just cut somebody's face off and or if you don't give me like access to like the cabin, the cockpit rather, we will cut somebody's face off." The action at that time, before 2001, was to give up, relinquish control, because we want to protect the passengers. Yep. that's what happened. That's how they got control over the cabin during the events of 9/11. So after that, you could just be setting everybody on fire in the cabin or in the the plane.
Yep.
Nobody's leaving.
You gotta sit
no
there.
one. And that sucks. Imagine being the two pilots there, just knowing that everybody in the back is being blended right now. Someone is taking out a blender and being awful, and I can't do this until we land. And that's crazy. But I guess things have gotten safer. I mean, there have been plane hijackings after that, but it just seems like anything that crazy has been thwarted. You're not going to be able to do that again, and a lot of comforts are gone.
I remember this weird overcorrection that occurred not in the airports, but during the Bush era, the wording of things you could say at school. Yeah. I think that a lot of people were sensitive. It was rough, and it just, I guess the nation needed to figure out a way to cope with what happened. Right.
I can't remember anything. I can only ask my family, can only ask people older than me. I just know that what I do remember, it's way later. It had to be like a decade after the event. I do remember just how patriotic television was, man.
Right.
Just especially Disney Channel. Oh my God. The way, you're trying to tell me that we got flags, we got patriotism, and Phineas and Ferb? I didn't really quite understand what was the engouragement for that, but I'm like,
God bless
it's because we're over here. Yeah, we're just, we're slapboxing the Middle East right now. We need to really, we gotta get galvanized, gotta feel American. And it's crazy. And the amount of jokes that people say now, they say hey, we just need, in order for all of us to get back together and see each other as Americans, we need another event. Give us another nation to hate. We'll all team up. Yep. We'll put the pettiness down so we can beat somebody up. It's wild. It was crazy. And I'm glad I was a kid during it and didn't really understand the entire situation. Completely, because it just seemed interesting to me.
When I was in school, they started implementing words you could not say, and curse words or racial epithets I could understand, but it was one of them was the word kill.
Yeah, people were sensitive, man.
But it wasn't. It was. So I witnessed a kid get in trouble on the bus because he didn't say "I'll kill you" or "I'll kill myself." It was, man, I hope I kill it on the test today.
Yep, I mean,
and the bus driver was like, "You come up here now."
Oh my God, that's a different experience, man. That type of tone policing, I wonder what really encouraged them to do that. Did that really make things better? Did it heal the brains of American children?
We just started using words that I would consider to be worse, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's what people do. Humans are really good at that.
I sure hope I detonate the test today.
Yeah, right. If you're gonna make me ad lib, I'll do that. That's fun. We could figure that out.
We'll find a happy middle ground or go way off
exactly. Because at that point, if you're gonna tell me what I'm not allowed to say, I'm gonna fuck with you and just and become a living thesaurus. Because that's funny. It's why be upset when I can just when I can counter.
The thing I had a teacher in high school that he very thankfully kind of broke away from that self-censorship. And so I appreciate teachers in any sure, elementary school they're little kids, but later middle school years and then high school, I appreciate teachers that talk to their students like they're people. But to the point where they are directly getting their point across. Because there was a time where we had a kid in our class that would not shut up, just no matter how hard anybody tried. And my teacher, instead of okay, well, I'm going to give you one final warning, and then I'm going to have to call the principal or something like this, he just looks at me and goes, "Get the fuck out of my class." and the kid's like, "Wait, what?" He goes, "Now, go."
Oh, man. It's crazy. I was lucky to have teachers like that in high school and in college, where just there wasn't this you're younger. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna use act with kid gloves around you. I'm gonna be very forthcoming with my thoughts and my feelings. I like that because that's how you build a person up. Sure, you're talking to a teenage boy, but he knows he's teenage. He knows that he's a kid, and if you treat him kind of like he has an idea, like he has somewhat of a frontal lobe, he'll grow one. It's like that. But of course, you always had the teachers that would baby you, no matter what.
I had one teacher that. You ever had one of those teachers that they were cordial, kind of babied their students, but then once in a while they'd snap?
Ooh, of course. And they usually are English teachers, man. English teachers and biology teachers, if they're ladies, they're very kind. They're very nice to you, especially if you turn in your work on time and you're doing well. They're great. That one day that they bark, you realize why no one acts up in their class. Yep. And if someone dares to do that, it's just the consequences are so swift.
You understand why they're the favorite all of a sudden?
You're like, okay, I get it. So that's why things are calm in here. All of us are terrified. We're all scared.
Dude, there was one day it was my science teacher, who's this shorter bald guy, and he was the most not hunky dory, but just pleasant. And we had a kid that just was trying to start an argument over test scores or something.
Okay.
Why'd I get a 65? And it's because you messed up on these answers. That's why. All right, back to class. Yeah. And then he kept just egging him on. And he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to step outside." And the kid goes to walk out and turn around to argue, and the teacher just slammed the door in his face and spun back.
There you go. Because that's what you need to do sometimes. Some people don't listen. And patience is thin, and a lesson has to happen.
I just remember he sat down, and I could see everybody could see that kind of look of shame wash over him. I can't believe I just did that to a student. And then he kind of looks up at all of us, and me and a couple other people just quietly give him a thumbs up. It's good work, man.
You have to kind of bark sometimes. If they just don't listen, you have to do it.
Oh, crap. So, okay. I know we talked about 45 minutes here. Mm-hmm. It's close.
I can give you the last minute.
No, it's closing in on 58 for me.
Whoops. No, that's not a problem, man.
Oops.
If you had one big question, bro, what would it be? We can end it real strong.
So, I have two, but one's a super easy one that'll come after. Mm-hmm. Where do you see your channel going from here?
Where do I see my channel going from here? Most likely, I will be continuing covering darker topics, like morbid reality, but most likely it will be a little bit more fleshed out, a lot less of a terrifying slideshow, and more of a well-written, well-animated documentary about certain topics, because I just have so many that I just can't include in the video because it would be too long. I cover typically 4 or 5 stories each video, so the big ones I save, and I would like to have more of those larger 2-hour long videos go out and have that kind of become a norm on the channel. But I'm not going to pivot from Reddit anytime soon. That is my bread and butter. That is what made my channel, and that's what I will be. But I just definitely will include a lot more of that darker stuff on the main channel.
I said, what if you start mixing and matching? Hear me out. Morbid reality, cringe-topia. Put them together.
Oh my god, that would be a trip. If I had to make a video just meant for people who are actively tripping on something, yeah, sure. Here you go. The internet. Here, just in 30 minutes, everything online, everything on the For You page.
I imagine like morbid reality, but with the presentation of cringe-topia. So it's here's CCTV footage of a man robbing a bank and then shooting a police officer. Yeah, that's kind of cringe, isn't it?
yeah. This is what happened. Isn't that a little bit stupid? I wouldn't do that. If I was a criminal, I would think harder.
Don't you feel silly? Don't you feel stupid?
Yep, that would be a very unique video. That's a good idea. Not gonna lie.
But I do have one last question to close this out. It's a very simple one. If asked, would you be open to coming back on as a return guest?
Absolutely, man. This has been a fantastic conversation. You seem pretty chill. This is my first time really having an interview with anyone for a video on YouTube. And yeah, if you're willing to sit down again, I can try and set aside some time.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for choosing me to be your first interview. I appreciate
No
that.
problem, bro.
It's
no problem.
It's one of those few times where like I received a DM back and I'm just like, I can't fucking believe they got back to me.
I occasionally check the DMs from time to time, and it seemed interesting. I was like, all right, let's do it.
This masked man on the internet's asking to talk to me. All right, yeah.
Yep. It's been a great conversation, my man. Nice meeting you.
Absolutely, and it's been an absolute blast having you on. And is there a video that you're particularly fond of that you'd like to see in the description of this video?
Video that I'm particularly fond of. Okay. Let's be fun.
Uh-oh.
And I would like your fans to see so many good ones. Oh yeah, here you go. Morbid Reality number 4. That's pretty nice. Yeah, that one is one of my personal favorites. I feel like I absolutely captured the right amount of intrigue, horror, and entertainment. And it seemed like a lot of people agreed.
Oh.
And yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy episode.
Oh, no. Well, that will be linked both at the end of this video and in the description.
Fantastic.
A great way to follow up this interview.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to, listen to something horrific, I got you, man. I'm your man.
But with that, Ailurus, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute blast.
It's my pleasure, man. Yeah, it's nice speaking to you. It was dope.
I hope to chat you up again soon.
Yep.
But with that, party people at home, thank you for sticking to the end. Please go check out Ailurus' channel. All links will be available in the description of this here video. But with that, this has been Demasked. My name is Fresman, and I'll see all of you next time.